It looked like the fans spoke. It looks like the fans said, hell no, we won't go. Hell no, we won't go. Caitlin Clark fans clearly no showing the Indiana Fever versus the Las Vegas Aces. It was smack dab empty. It would cost you more to get a small fry with no burger and no drink than it would have cost to sit in the 100 section in the lower bowl.
Welcome back to Pro Caitlin TV. Caitlin Clark's absence has once again become one of the biggest stories in basketball, and fans everywhere are asking the same question. When will she be back on the court? Every day seems to bring new rumors, new theories, and heated debates across social media. Some fans believe her recovery is taking longer than expected, while others think too much speculation is overshadowing the facts. But that's not all. As analysts discuss Indiana's performance without their biggest star, supporters continue dissecting every injury update and every statement from the team. The conversation has grown far beyond one player's recovery. It has become a league-wide topic about expectations, pressure, and the challenges of returning from injury at the highest level. So what do we actually know? Which reports are based on official information, and which are simply social media speculation? Why has Clark's absence created such an emotional reaction among fans, teammates, and media personalities? Stay with us because we're breaking down the latest updates, the biggest fan reactions, and why everyone is anxiously waiting for Caitlin Clark's return to the Indiana Fever. The moment Caitlin Clark was ruled out, the basketball world immediately went into detective mode. Fans weren't just asking when she'd return. They wanted to know why the recovery was taking longer than expected. Within hours, social media was flooded with theories. Sports talk shows were debating every update, and countless posts claimed to have the real story behind her absence. But here's the reality. While rumors spread rapidly online, the official updates focused on Clark's injury status and recovery process. That didn't stop the internet from filling in the gaps with speculation. Every new headline seemed to create another round of questions, and every rumor generated thousands of reactions from passionate WNBA fans. That's what made the story so fascinating. Caitlin Clark isn't just another player missing games. She's one of the biggest stars in basketball today. Since arriving in the WNBA, she's transformed television ratings, sold out arenas across the country, and introduced millions of new fans to the league. Whenever she isn't on the floor, everyone notices. The Indiana Fever certainly noticed. Without Clark directing the offense, the team had to make significant adjustments. Other players took on larger roles, the coaching staff experimented with different lineups, and every possession became even more important. While some games showed encouraging signs, others reminded everyone just how much Clark contributes beyond the scoring column. Her passing, her court vision, her leadership, those qualities are difficult to replace. Fans quickly pointed that out online. Many supporters posted highlight videos showing Clark creating easy scoring opportunities for teammates. Others compared the team's offensive rhythm with and without her on the court. While opinions differed about exactly how much the Fever struggled, nearly everyone agreed that Clark's presence changes the way opponents defend Indiana. Then the rumors became even louder. Some social media accounts began claiming they knew the real reason Clark remained unavailable. Others suggested hidden setbacks or internal disagreements, even though none of those claims were supported by official announcements. Those posts spread rapidly because fans were desperate for answers. Media personalities urged caution. Several basketball analysts reminded viewers that recovering from an injury isn't always a straight line. Every athlete heals differently, and medical staffs typically prioritize long-term health over rushing a player back into competition. They emphasize that waiting for verified updates is often more reliable than reacting to viral speculation. That message resonated with many fans. Supporters wanted Clark back on the floor as soon as possible, but they also understood the importance of a complete recovery. Many commented that they'd rather see her miss additional games now than risk returning too early and making the injury worse. Meanwhile, the Fever kept moving forward. Practice sessions continued. Game plans evolved. Teammates accepted greater responsibility while Clark focused on rehabilitation. Coaches consistently emphasized preparation and teamwork, understanding that every player needed to contribute while one of the team's biggest stars recovered. Across sports media, another debate emerged. Some analysts discussed the enormous pressure placed on superstar athletes. Because Clark attracts so much attention, every update becomes breaking news. A normal recovery timeline that might receive little attention for another player suddenly becomes a national story simply because millions of people are following her every move. That level of attention creates challenges. Every official statement is analyzed. Every practice appearance becomes headline news. Every social media photo sparks another round of speculation. Some fans interpret small details as signs of an imminent return, while others worry about setbacks based on incomplete information. That's the reality of being one of the most recognizable athletes in professional basketball. Still, one thing never changed. Clark remained focused on getting healthy, while the Fever remained focused on winning games with the players available. Although the rumors continued dominating social media, the organization consistently emphasized patience and recovery instead of reacting to every theory circulating online. As anticipation kept building, fans knew another official update could arrive at any moment. But before that happened, the public debate surrounding Clark's absence was about to become even bigger, with analysts, former players, and basketball fans offering dramatically different opinions about what should happen next. As the days passed, the conversation surrounding Caitlin Clark's injury only became louder. Every new Indiana Fever game seemed to bring another wave of speculation. Fans weren't just watching the scoreboard anymore. They were watching the bench, the pregame warm-ups, and every official statement, hoping for a sign that Clark's return was getting closer. Social media was filled with theories. Some fans believed Clark would be back sooner than expected after seeing brief practice clips and hearing optimistic comments from people around the team. Others urged caution, reminding everyone that recovering from an injury isn't always predictable, and that returning too early could create even bigger problems. That difference in opinion quickly became one of the hottest debates in the WNBA. Television analysts weighed in during halftime shows and post-game coverage. Former players shared their own experiences with injuries, explaining how difficult it can be to balance the desire to compete with the need to fully recover. Many agreed on one important point. No matter how talented a player is, long-term health should always come first. Meanwhile, the Indiana Fever had no choice but to adapt. Without Clark running the offense, other players stepped into larger roles. Veterans were asked to provide leadership, younger players gained valuable experience, and the coaching staff adjusted rotations to keep the team competitive. While there were encouraging performances, fans could clearly see how much Clark's playmaking and leadership were missed. Her impact extends far beyond scoring. She creates open shots for teammates. She controls the pace of the game. She stretches defenses with her shooting range. Those qualities are difficult to replace, and many analysts pointed out that Clark's value goes well beyond what appears in the box score. The fan reaction reflected that reality. Every Fever victory without Clark was celebrated as proof that the team could remain competitive, while every loss sparked renewed conversations about how important her return would be. Supporters continued posting highlight reels of her best performances, reminding everyone why she had become one of the biggest stars in women's basketball. Then another discussion started gaining momentum. Some commentators questioned whether the enormous attention surrounding Clark's recovery was creating unrealistic expectations. They argued that because she's one of the league's biggest attractions, every update becomes national news, putting even more pressure on both the player and the organization. Others viewed it differently. They believed the excitement simply demonstrated how much Clark has elevated interest in the WNBA. Millions of fans who rarely followed the league before are now closely tracking every Fever game, every injury report, and every roster update. In their eyes, that level of attention is a sign of the league's incredible growth. Throughout all of this, the Fever remained consistent in their message. The focus was on Clark's recovery and ensuring she returned only when she was medically ready. Rather than reacting to rumors circulating online, the organization continued emphasizing patience and the importance of protecting one of the franchise's most valuable players. Many basketball fans appreciated that approach. They acknowledged that while everyone wants to see Clark back on the court, rushing the process rarely benefits anyone. History has shown that athletes who return before they're fully healthy often face additional setbacks, something neither Clark nor the Fever want to experience. Still, anticipation kept building. Every practice session generated headlines. Every pre-game interview created fresh speculation. Every official injury update was analyzed by fans and media alike. The waiting seemed endless. But as more conversations unfolded, one thing became increasingly clear. This story had grown far beyond a single injury report. It had become a discussion about expectations, patience, leadership, and the future of one of the WNBA's brightest stars. Everyone wanted answers, but only time and official updates would determine when Caitlin Clark would finally make her long-awaited return. And with the Fever approaching another crucial stretch of the season, the next chapter promised to be the most important one yet. As the conversation surrounding Caitlin Clark's recovery continued, one thing became impossible to ignore. This was no longer just about one player missing a few games. It had become one of the biggest storylines in the WNBA, with fans, analysts, and media personalities all waiting for the same moment: Caitlin Clark's return to the court. The anticipation was enormous. Every Fever game was now viewed through a different lens. Instead of simply asking whether Indiana would win or lose, fans were asking another question. How much stronger will this team be once Clark is healthy again? Many basketball analysts believe that injuries often reveal a team's true character. Without their biggest star available, the Fever had no choice but to rely on teamwork, patience, and resilience. Some players stepped into larger offensive roles. Others focused on defense and leadership. While the results were sometimes inconsistent, many observers felt the experience could actually help Indiana become a more complete team once Clark eventually returns. Meanwhile, the speculation never stopped. Every practice photo sparked excitement. Every warm-up video generated thousands of comments. Every official update was analyzed from every possible angle. Some fans became convinced Clark was only days away from returning. Others reminded everyone that recovery timelines can change, and that the only information that truly matters comes from official team updates. That difference in perspective continued fueling online debates. Former players also offered valuable insight. Several explained that one of the biggest mistakes athletes can make is rushing back because of outside pressure. Competitors naturally want to play, especially during important stretches of the season. But experienced players understand that protecting your long-term health is often more important than returning a few games earlier. That message resonated with many Fever supporters. They acknowledged how exciting Clark's return will be, but they also emphasized that they want to see her return at full strength rather than risking another setback. Many fans commented that a healthy Caitlin Clark for the rest of the season is far more valuable than an early comeback that could lead to additional time away from the court. Another interesting development was how much attention the Fever continued receiving, even while Clark remained sidelined. Television ratings stayed strong. Sports shows continued discussing Indiana. Social media remained filled with Fever highlights and fan reactions. Many commentators believe that's a sign of just how much Clark has changed the landscape of women's basketball. Even when she's not playing, people continue talking about her impact, her recovery, and what her eventual return could mean for the league. Looking ahead, optimism remains high. If Clark returns healthy and the Fever continue developing the chemistry they've built during this challenging stretch, many analysts believe Indiana could become a dangerous team heading into the most important part of the season. Her passing, leadership, and ability to create opportunities for teammates could give the Fever an entirely different dimension once she's back on the floor. Of course, basketball fans know one thing better than anyone. Nothing is guaranteed. Every game presents a new challenge. Every opponent is preparing to stop one of the league's brightest stars. And every comeback brings new expectations. But if there's one lesson this entire situation has taught, it's that patience often produces the best results. Instead of focusing on rumors or social media speculation, the Fever have continued emphasizing preparation, recovery, and long-term success. Clark has remained committed to supporting her teammates while working toward her return, and the organization has consistently prioritized her health above everything else. In the end, that's what matters most. The headlines will eventually fade. The rumors will disappear. The speculation will be forgotten. But when Caitlin Clark finally steps back onto the court, all eyes will once again be on one of the most exciting players in basketball. And if she returns at full strength, this challenging chapter may ultimately be remembered not as a setback, but as the moment that prepared both Clark and the Indiana Fever for an even stronger finish to the season. Because sometimes the biggest comeback stories aren't defined by how long someone is away. They're defined by what happens when they finally return. And that's where this story stands. Caitlin Clark's absence has sparked countless headlines, endless fan discussions, and plenty of speculation. But while rumors may dominate social media, one thing remains most important: waiting for official updates and seeing Clark return only when she's fully healthy. Because at the end of the day, every Indiana Fever fan wants the same thing: to see one of the WNBA's brightest stars back on the court, playing at her very best. Now we want to hear from you. How important do you think Caitlin Clark is to the Indiana Fever's championship hopes? Do you believe the Fever have done enough to stay competitive while she's recovering? Or do you think her return will completely change the team's season? And when she does come back, what do you expect from her in those first few games? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, because we read your comments every single day, and we love hearing what passionate basketball fans have to say. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Pro Caitlin TV for the latest Caitlin Clark news, Indiana Fever updates, WNBA analysis, fan reactions, and all the biggest basketball stories as they happen. Make sure you also turn on notifications so you never miss another update. Thank you so much for watching and for being part of the incredible Pro Caitlin TV community. Your support helps us continue bringing you exciting, balanced coverage of the biggest stories in women's basketball. Before you go, here's one final question. When Caitlin Clark finally returns, do you think she'll immediately lead the Fever on a playoff run? Or will the team need time to get back into rhythm together? Let us know your answer in the comments, and we'll see you in the next video.